today I'm going to tell you about a few things that I've recently read about cell phone etiquette. It's become a big deal in our society. Cell phones are a part of almost everybody's life. I don't think I know anyone over the age of 16, even some under the age of 16 that own cell phones. I even know some under the age of 16 that own cell phones. Almost everyone I know over the age of 16 does own a cell phone. So it is a big deal in our society. Cell phones are being used they're a great thing, they're used in great ways, but they're also being used uncourteously and without any etiquette at all. Recently, I was in a restaurant and I read a sign that said, "The chef deserves the right to deep fry your cell phone." Of course the chef's not going to deep fry your cell phone. That's just the restaurant's way of saying, use some etiquette in here. Have you ever been in a restaurant whenever somebody is sitting at a table near you or right by you and their cell phone conversation overrides your conversation? You can't focus on what you're doing, and it's extremely annoying. My daughter recently told me about a parent-teacher conference that she was in, which is an important thing. And the cell phone of the parent, her cell phone rang right in the middle of the conference. What's more important than hearing how your child is doing in school? Obviously, her call coming in, she thought that is bad cell phone etiquette. I have a cell phone myself. I try really hard. I've been guilty a few times of catching myself talking on the phone in an inappropriate time, but most of the time I try to, if I'm in a public place, keep my voice down. You ever been in a bookstore and you can hear, or shopping, and you can hear another person's conversation? It's annoying. It's not something pleasant. It's not really something you want to hear. You would rather have quiet. This is such a big deal that Cindy Post wrote a book called Teen Manners, and she was advising parents on how their kids should use their cell phones. She'd tell their kids to hang up their phones and put them away while we're talking. Also, some students at NCTC wrote an article. Kevin Lohendry and Sherry Burns wrote an article. It's on the NCTC website about cell phone etiquette. So what the books are telling us is that when you're in a restaurant, if you have to be on your cell phone, don't talk loud. Use a quiet voice if you have to. But the best way to handle this is to leave your cell phone in the car. Most phone calls can wait. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, phone calls waited. They can wait now. Most cell phone calls can wait until you're finished with dinner. But if you do have to take a call, you're expecting one that's important, go outside, leave the table. Especially when you're invited out to dinner, it's extremely rude to be on your cell phone. Or text. You know, you're having a conversation with someone and they're busy texting. They're not looking at you or paying attention to your conversation. It's not a very good feeling. Another thing is if you're working in a public service job, you're a waitress, you work behind the counter somewhere, dry cleaners, convenience store, anywhere. You have a cell phone, your cell phone rings, there's no customers, you pick it up, you answer it, a customer comes in, immediately hang up your cell phone. Don't stay on your phone and try to take care of the customer and the conversation, and definitely don't make the customer wait while you're finish up your phone call. Another big thing about cell phones is driving. Really, do we have to drive and talk on our cell phones? Shouldn't we hang up our phones? Is the conversations really that important? If there is an emergency or something that you suddenly remember that has to be done, at least put your cell phone on speaker and talk to the person that way. There are laws now protecting students, children in schools now. When you're going through a school zone, you can't have your cell phone on because of this. Texting in the car while you're driving is completely inappropriate. It's very dangerous. Even walking and talking on your cell phone, you're not paying 100% attention to what you're doing. So the best thing to do is to stop somewhere, sit down, have your conversation, and then go about your business. Definitely never ever text and walk. That's that's extremely dangerous. So my point is that we should always use our cell phones courteously and conveniently, and you know, use it if it's convenient. Use it, but do it courteously. And I hope y'all learned something today from this speech. Also, here's two pictures of people that from cell phones that are on the cell phone. Here's one lady in the movies. Her date or whoever she's with is extremely annoyed because she's on her cell phone. And here's a couple out to dinner, and he's on his cell phone holding a baby, not paying attention to anything, and she looks extremely annoyed because she's having to sit there all by herself and not enjoy her dinner. And I hope that y'all learned something today from this speech, and thank you.